We've seen so many new electric vehicles come out over the last couple of years that now they are entering the pre-owned market. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned EV, 2025 is a better time than ever because there's just so many choices and they are a lot more affordable. Hi, this is Joe from Way Scarff Ford, and today we're talking about this 2022 Polestar 2. Let's dive in. This is a pre-owned Polestar 2. They call it a 2. It features dual motors, so it has two electric motors, one in the front, one in the back, making it all-wheel drive. You can also get these in front-wheel drive, but adding the dual electric motors seriously increases horsepower. It's like having two engines. So this makes a little over 400 horsepower. It can go 0 to 60 a little over 4 seconds. Pretty amazing. Looks cool. Looking in the inside and outside, we can see a heavy design influence that looks like it was borrowed from Volvo because Polestar is a spin-off of Volvo. Polestar is kind of its own standalone company. It's got a publicly traded stock, but its parent company is Volvo. Polestar actually used to be the name of performance-oriented Volvo products. They added the Polestar moniker to it, like BMW adds M or Mercedes adds AMG, but they spun it off completely into its own all-electric brand, which is pretty suitable because electric vehicles are generally very well at performing as well, including this one, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, over 400 horsepower. It's got a really cool look on the inside and outside, following that kind of Scandinavian minimalist design philosophy we've seen throughout other Volvo products. It transcends into the Polestar. Really is a good-looking vehicle on the inside and outside. So obviously Tesla, I have a Tesla. A lot of people have Teslas. They're a very popular choice for EVs. But not everyone wants a Tesla, for different reasons. I'm not going to get into it. But if you don't want a Tesla, but you want an EV, a Polestar 2 would be a great choice. If I wasn't gonna buy a Model 3, which I like very much, I would also consider a Polestar. This is probably, a runner-up for me. As far as I go, I would happily drive one of these. It has some cool features and technology, even stuff that, I wouldn't mind having in my own Tesla. And this one's a little bit extra special because this is the performance model. This has the performance package, which adds a more aggressive wheel and tire package. You get Brembo front brakes. You get a sport tuned suspension. This actually has a trick Öhlins. This has a trick Öhlins suspension that's adjustable. You also get these cool colored seat belts, like that look. So this thing actually really handles amazingly with this upgraded wheel and tire package and adjustable suspension. Now obviously you have that added stopping power of those gigantic Brembo brakes. Nice comfortable supportive seats made out of vegan materials. Nice design in the interior. Nice, the fit and finish is great. Nice high quality plastics and materials. Nice black, lacquer piano finish. There's no on and off switch. You just get in, the car can detect you have your key, and you just put it in drive and go because there's no engine to start. You can power down the vehicle, but for EVs, it's kind of like your computer's in sleep mode. When you walk away from it, it can detect that you're not close to it, you're not in the vehicle anymore, and the vehicle will power down and to save energy for next time you use it. This is a fully charged range of about 230 to 240 miles, depending on the way you drive. Nice leather-wrapped steering wheel, completely digital gauge cluster. We can see this also uses Google Maps. This is actually powered by Google's automotive operating system, so it really works awesome. Car companies are great at making the mechanical bits, but I've noticed that they're not so great at making the technology bits. Car companies are not tech companies. Google is one of the biggest tech companies in the world. They make amazing technology that goes in smartphones, that is used in Google browsers and maps. So they are much better at making stuff like this that integrates in the car than Volvo or Polestar would ever do. Believe me, car companies have attempted to try to do their own software, and we're going to see probably most of them move towards the Google operating system over the next few years. The only company the only exception would probably be Tesla because they are also a tech company. But most other auto manufacturers, they're not so much tech companies, but that's a different story. So since this is powered by Google's operating system, the navigation system and maps are also powered by Google, which gives you great point of interest, great navigating, easy to find charging. This is also a very adjustable vehicle as well. You can adjust the feel of the steering. You can do one pedal driving. So So with EVs, we have what we call regenerative braking. Regenerative braking is basically when you use the brakes or you take your foot off the accelerator for that matter, with the one pedal driving, it'll automatically engage regen. So the vehicle will start slowing down. Some people complain about, oh, I don't like the feel of the regen, but that's because we're conditioned over all these years to know how a gas car feels. For a gas car, it makes sense for it to coast a lot of times when you take your foot off the accelerator because that makes it more efficient. But with EVs, what happens is since we have electric motors, we reverse the polarity of the electric motors when we operate the brake. So the way regenerative braking works is that instead of using the brakes, they've reversed the polarity of the electric motors, turning them into generators. So normally all that kinetic energy we'd lose through heat through braking is recaptured and put back in the batteries. That's what makes EVs more efficient. And the nice dividend of the regenerative braking, since you're using the electric motors to brake the vehicle, not the actual brakes, you get a lot longer life out of your brakes, sometimes over 100,000 miles, sometimes more. So we have three levels of regen. We have off, we have low, and standard. I encourage most people, if you don't like it, just get used to it. You'll get used to the feel of it eventually. And on the highways, you can use the adaptive cruise control. So, you know, the vehicle is maintaining speed, not you. So in that instance, it doesn't even matter what the pedal feels like. But this will make your EV much more efficient, having that with regenerative braking. You can have creep on and off. Again, we're used to, you know, gas cars creeping. Where here, if you come to a complete stop, it will keep the vehicle in stop until you hit the accelerator again. Steering feel, we have lots of driver's assistance. We have adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, driver alert, roadside traffic sign recognition, blind spot warning, collision avoidance. There's information in the charging. So this thing's pretty much like a computer on wheels. You can see there is so much information. There's a depth to this screen, unlike any other vehicle. There's a depth to this screen that you don't get with, you know, regular cars. This is something a little bit different, something a little bit special. We have an amazing parking camera as well. We have a 360-degree around view camera. Right now it's in backup mode, but you can hit this button right there, and you have a whole composite 360 view around the whole vehicle. You have a nice composite view of our photo studio. So the Polestar 2 has a kind of unique look about it. We can see it follows its design theme from other Volvo products, and it kind of skews between different categories. Is it a crossover SUV? Is it a sedan? It's actually a little bit of both. It actually has a little bit higher ride height, a little bit more interior space. It has a lift back. So even though it kind of, at a glance, looks like a sedan, it's actually a little bit of crossover SUV in it as well. It's kind of in between as far as size and space goes, in between like one of its closest competitors would be either a Model 3 or Model Y. It's kind of right in between. And since we don't have an engine up here, we have additional storage in the form of a frunk. Really cool front end styling. Love the look and lines of the Polestar. Really cool design indeed. There's your more aggressive wheel and tire package. You get the performance package and those Brembo front brakes. And this also has the Öhlins adjustable suspension. Very spacious interior. I'm 6'2". I had that front seat adjusted for my height. Plenty of space in the front, plenty of space in the back. We see more of that clean styling on the rear. And underneath the bumper, there's a little button, and that will open the lift back. So it looks like a sedan, but it's a lift back, which is a lot more practical than having a trunk. You have this big opening, a lot bigger than a trunk opening, to put cargo in, take cargo out. You can fold down those rear seats. There's also a cargo pass-through, but you can fold down those rear seats, remove that cargo area protector, cut that cargo area cover for even more space. And then we have additional storage under there as well. Well, there you have it, a very nice example of a Polestar 2. I don't get too much into pricing, but you can find a lot of these Polestars in the pre-owned market for $30,000 price range and under, depending on the mileage and options. These were like $50,000, give or take, when they were brand new. So these lightly used pre-owned examples are fantastic value. And keep in mind, I'm filming this video in June of 2025, so if you're watching this on YouTube 5 years in the future, obviously the pricing I'm talking about is kind of out of whack, but hopefully the information will be helpful. We're Way Scarff Ford. We've been in business over 100 years, proudly serving the greater Seattle-Tacoma area. We sell new Fords and Isuzus. We do service And we have a very big pre-owned inventory where we have a huge selection of all sorts of products besides Fords and Isuzus. We sell all sorts of stuff. EVs, Mustangs, Camaros, Corvettes, trucks, you name it, commercial, light duty, passenger vehicles. We have it all. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.